Thank you for joining us with another episode of Conversations with Dr. Gosalia. We are here down in Naples, Florida at the first annual Odd Boss Summit 2019, and I'm joined with my very good friend, Dr. Natalie Phillips, who's here from Colorado. She's the senior audiologist at Advanced Otolaryngology and Audiology. She's also the CEO of Connect4Excellence, and she's a podcast host for Connecting a Better World. So Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about your career and how you got here.
Boy, okay. Well, so I started to go to school, undergrad, for pre-med actually. I was going to be a pediatrician until I found out that there were a lot of years of school, like 8 years. So I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Needless to say, I didn't know. So I actually changed from pre-med to drama. I was a drama major for like a half a semester or so, or a semester. And then I decided to check into communication disorders and speech sciences.
Right.
And went through all the different classes and decided at the end, where we only had 2 audiology classes, that I wanted to become an audiologist, and that's what I applied to. So I did my master's degree through audiology, and if I didn't get in there, I was going to be a speech pathologist. No, actually, no. I never wanted to be a speech pathologist. Sorry, but I was going to be an interpreter for the deaf. Yeah.
Yes.
So if I didn't get into my master's degree school, then I was going to do that. But I ended up getting in, so I became an audiologist.
Very nice.
And did my CFY out in Hawaii, and then worked for 5 years, and then finished my doctorate through the University of Florida.
Good.
And luckily, with my husband's job taking us all over, we were in Texas and California and Oregon and Washington and then back to Colorado. I got to learn so much about audiology. So I was in different settings and it was fun. So I was setting up newborn hearing screening programs in Texas. And then I worked with the neurotologist, with anything under the sun, being in surgeries, whatever. It was fabulous. And then I worked up the coast, Oregon, private practice, dispensing office in Oregon, and then Washington, which was more of a hospital setting, about 200 or so providers, and then moved to Colorado, where I started a practice within an ENT practice, but it is a doctor that I work with and have been there for the last 10 years.
Fantastic.
So that's kind of my pathway,
That is really cool. Can I get you a drink?
Yes, I would love one.
Well, what can I get you?
I think a gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic, you got it.
Nice. I didn't know you were a bartender.
Absolutely, bartender extraordinaire. Here you go.
Wow, that
Can I get you a
was
straw?
lightning fast.
I'm a very efficient
You have
bartender.
plastic straws?
Plastic straws, here you go. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, you're doing a lot of great work outside of the audiology space. Are you having trouble there with the plastic straw?
Yes.
That's a pretty big problem if the plastic straw is actually a paper straw. Well,
all right.
there you go. We here in Florida don't believe in using plastic straws.
Oh,
so that's why
that's
I
a
tricked
paper
you.
straw.
I tricked you into using a paper straw.
Well, that's going to have to do.
I will take that trash from you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you do a lot of work outside of audiology. So tell us, you're the CEO of Connect4Excellence. Let's start there. What is Connect4Excellence?
So Connect4Excellence is a business that I started with 4 different pillars. So that's why there's the number 4 in Connect4Excellence. And I really thought about it. And it took me a while to develop it because I wasn't confident that I could do something outside of audiology. And because I went to school for audiology, and that's what I was, right? But I started to live in this entrepreneurial world, and I started to see that I was good at things that were outside of audiology. So the 4 pillars are helping somebody connect to themselves through vision boarding and just understanding their passion and their purpose. The second thing would be connecting through social media, where I can help businesses, individuals, have a better branding or I guess getting themselves out there better in social media. I strongly believe in conducting events in order to get people connected. So just like this is amazing, at the Odd Boss conference, because we're all getting connected to people. And it's not just about learning, but it's now sharing with each other and learning from each other, which absolutely love. So that's the third thing. And then the fourth thing I wanted to do with my business was to make sure that people, whether they're in business or if they want to give back, actually have that philanthropy part of their business, which is connecting to give back to others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
The give back portion is so important. What do you do philanthropically?
Oh my. Well, I've been on a couple of missions, in the hearing world, which is great. And then I like to be involved in whatever comes my way that I think that I feel like I have an urge to help out. So my husband started a nonprofit organization called Dogs, and it helps dads spend time with their kids, and we create environments for that. And then I sit on the board for a legacy project highlighting 48 prominent women in Fort Collins, which is now going to be written into the history books from elementary all the way to college women's studies.
Very cool.
So we're working on that over the next 3 years to release that. And it just, again, it depends on what comes my way. You heard me talk about the Facebook Live-a-thon, and we raised over $100,000 in less than 20 hours which turned into $400,000, right, with a government grant. But we were able to help human trafficking.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of,
help stop human trafficking.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. But it's amazing because it's stuff that just comes along, and it's kind of like, why wouldn't I do that? And why wouldn't I be able to give back in a way that I can to help pave the way for the future?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So you're also a podcast host, and I was honored and humbled to be a guest. Tell us about podcasting and why it's important to you.
That's fun. Okay, so podcasting I kind of stumbled across it because I was volunteering for Fort Collins Startup Week. And I learned about podcasting in a one whole day session and took tons of notes. And then somebody followed up with me and said, we're starting a radio station. Do you want to develop content? And so I said, absolutely. And what popped into my head was connecting a better world. And basically all I wanted to do was interview people doing good in this world. Because I like to sit and talk to people, and I like to learn about what they do. But I felt like that was selfish, like only I got to learn, and why doesn't anybody else get to know about these people? And then you don't have to have a nonprofit, you don't have to have an organization, you could be volunteering, and I want to talk to you because I want to get down to the root of, why are you doing this? Maybe what was the background of maybe your parents were like this or something, and then what is it that you're doing? Why are you interested in it? And then I get to learn from you and from other guests, because I always ask, what advice would you give to somebody else? Because I think a lot of the problem lies, like you said, what are you doing for philanthropy? People are like, well, I see a lot of things, but I don't know what to do. And you just have to do it.
How do you make that first step into that world?
Absolutely. So I think that there's a lot of us that we can give to the world, and I think that it's super important to tap into that.
Absolutely. Really cool. So back to kind of bring this all back to audiology, which is most of our audience, what can we as audiologists do, or what advice would you have for audiologists in terms of wrapping everything together, the social media aspect, the philanthropic part, and then the podcasting? What do you recommend?
Okay, well, so let's see. So social media, definitely we can step up our game, and this is what I talked about at Oddboss, because there's so many ways and so many different things that we can do using technology to step up our game in social media. It is not just about posting anymore. It's not just about telling your story, but it's definitely getting ourselves out there to brand ourselves as audiologists, as business professionals, as medical professionals as well. I know there are HIPAA guidelines, but there are ways that we can put ourselves out there, as well as get our patients to not only purchase devices, but advocate for our practice and for audiology as well. And so I think that by using video, let's say, for social media, that's a huge difference. That's going to reach a lot of people and get them aware of what we do, and then hopefully convert them into advocates as well. So that's social media. Podcasting, it just, as far as audiology is concerned, sometimes I focus on audiology, sometimes I don't. And I have seen some great audiologists that are also doing podcasts just audiology related. So if you're tuning into that, tune into some of the audiology podcasts, or start your own podcast. I mean, all it is a recording. And so, if it's something that you're interested in, just like this, Conversations with Dr.Gosalia, you want to just meet people and you want to talk about them, and then you want to broadcast that out to the world, of what people are doing. And so it's something as simple as, I don't know, you tell me if it was simple, but it's something as simple as, I have this idea, and why do I get to meet all these people? Why not just let everybody else meet them?
Absolutely.
And then audiologists, as far as what we can do, I've learned a lot outside of our profession. So I had to deal a lot with, yes, I'm an audiologist, but yes, I have passion and I have skills and I'm interested and curious about what else is out there.
Right.
Not saying that I'm going to leave audiology, but saying that there are so many other professions out there that do things right.
Yeah.
So why don't we learn about those and then bring it back so that we can teach audiologists new things that are out there that we might not have seen, because I feel like we all kind of stay in this bubble, right? And we kind of do the same things. It's not going to keep working. We got to take things from outside and be able to bring it back into audiology in order for us to make us all better, right?
We have to be able to have multiple avenues of, it's not even revenue, it's just doing good. Multiple avenues of doing good. As audiologists, we're helping people hear better or get their balance back or stop the ringing in their ears, or at least do things to manage that. And then we can also do more. You know, a lot of the foundations my wife and I work with are, I think almost all of them are not even in, I should say none of them are in the audiology space or hearing space. They're social issues and stuff. So I think these are great lessons. All the links to all your sites and podcasting and all that is going to be right down below. So thank you so much for doing this. You gave your talk yesterday here at the Odd Boss Summit, and it was a hit. People were talking about it all evening last night. So thank you so much for joining me.
I'm so glad.
And
Thank you for having me.
How's the drink?
It is great. I don't think you should quit your day job, though, people.
Thanks for joining us.